going on, everybody? It is Matty here today. Now hold your horses, all right? Everything is okay. Your boy, he's doing just fine. I just wanted to have a chat. That's it. And I didn't know how else to label the video other than let's talk, because that's what I wanted to do. Now, I tend to stay away from this type of content because honestly, most people try to just use it against me as a form of weakness, and I find it rather irritable. But something kept calling my heart to make this video. For the last number of months, it's all I could really think of as I worked on all of my content. I kept thinking of just sitting down here on Christmas Day and talking with all of you. And so this video will be a little sad because we're going to document some hardships, but kind of the goal is to, I guess, spread a message of pushing through adversity. Because this year, I think we can all agree we have in some way, shape, or form faced adversity. And it's been extremely tough. I don't really need to specify why. 2020 kind of speaks for itself. And I just felt like I'm lucky to have this platform where so many people watch and hear my opinion on games. And I'm so thankful for that. I can't even begin to explain. I'm going to try to in this video because you all mean the world to me. And I think this is why I wanted to do it. I've been so blessed this year in what has been such an awful year that I've been so emotionally conflicted for months because things have been so good on my end and I feel so lucky. But I still went through a lot of tough shit, man. And, you know, I know some people on the holidays, they feel a little bit alone. Maybe they feel alone in their struggles, or they see content creators like myself. You smile in the camera like, what's going on, everybody? It's Matty here. And I think I'm authentic and genuine in my videos. But I understand sometimes when you're watching the same person being like, A-okay, you question yourself a little bit. I had that issue for a while until other creators I watched when I was younger came out and said like, yeah, I struggle with anxiety or depression or whatever. And not because I wanted them to struggle with that stuff, but more so it made me feel like I wasn't just crazy and alone. So I know being alone with your own problems is probably the worst thing. So hopefully you find this video validating and get some form of release. And I promise there's a happy ending to all of this. Now, content-wise, just real quick, I want to make sure everyone knows, as this video is up, I'm on a holiday break, and I have content uploaded until the 11th of January, so I may have actually a couple of weeks to twiddle my thumbs. I have needed that for a while. Not because I'm burnt out. I love what I do. I think you can see it in all my videos with the skits and like the energy. I love games, and I love that I've been given an opportunity to talk about games, and I will never, ever not appreciate that. But just like with anything, you just sometimes need to come up for some air, and I have been sunk into my work. Since August, we started, myself and Kopi, one of my editors, have started working on content every week. If you're a patron, you'll have already seen this content, or at least most of it. There's some secret, I can't talk, but I'm not editing this, all right? I want it to be as raw and genuine. There are some secrets, some surprises, but for the most part, people have seen it week in, week out. We have been doing since August content that we have prepared over on the Patreon, and those videos will go live to the public while I'm gone. And we spent so much time, like money, effort, skits. I think there's some of my best videos ever. I'm not even kidding. And I don't want to hype it up too much, but they're diverse. They stay in the realm of what you know me for, right? Bethesda, BioWare, some CD Projekt Red stuff. But then I do shoot for the stars on a couple of videos, and I've got some really awesome experiments in there. We've got an amazing announcement coming at the beginning of this year, or I'm sorry, the beginning of 2021 rather, that I can't wait to share with everyone, and that'll synchronize with some content here. And so, you know, just great stuff is coming. I'm very excited for the future, and I think for me to really take full advantage of the opportunities that are coming, I just need some time to breathe. But I wanted to leave you all with really worthwhile, thoughtful, enjoyable content. Just retrospective stuff, fun stuff, interesting stuff. I feel like it's really good and diverse while staying true to what my identity is. So I do ask, if you're a frequent viewer of my channel, that you keep a closer eye on this content and you be very critical of it. Let me know what you think of it, because it's a formula I've been trying out and experimenting with, and I want to evolve it and see what can be better with it. So I encourage and appreciate your criticism. Now let's talk about 2020. Hasn't been an easy year. You know, for most of us, we've been locked up inside. For myself, literally all of my hobbies are gone. I've just been working, and that's been it. I've been working and gaming, and then I see my girlfriend. That has been the cycle of my 2020. I used to do martial arts. I used to do card store. I would, you can see, it used to be in the background. You can kind of see it over there. I used to play Dragon Ball Super, the card game, every single week. And so that gets you out for a couple hours on top of just general socialization. And yeah, there is none of that. So it's just a lot of like being in your house and, you know, respecting the social distancing and trying to just be wise when you go out if you really need to go out. And I'm kind of an introvert at heart. You know, the hobby speaks for itself, right? I kind of don't like to interact with a lot of people. So I like people, but, you know, not all the time. And so, yeah, it's just been no hobbies, and in the same year. And like I said, it's gonna get a little sad. You know, I lost my Mimi. You can actually, no one's ever really commented about it. Not because I did it for attention, but I've noticed no one's really said anything. But I've always had a little memorial for Mimi in the background of my videos, so she's always there with me. And you know, she's lived around the corner since I was a little kid. You know, I'm 25 years old, and you know, that was tough. That was at the beginning of all of this, when we weren't sure what to do with social distancing, and she had COPD and whatnot. So we just knew the whole virus thing was not good for people with breathing issues, and so we were like, you know, what do we do with seeing her? And you know, I'm thankful that she was spared from all of the crap this year has flung at us, but at the same time, I miss her every day. You know, just having that person around the corner you can just go talk to. There's just something really special about having a relationship with your grandmother like that. And a lot of people don't know, but in 2019, when I invested in my office space, and it's the background you see in most of my videos with the better microphone and whatnot, I got that in August, and I wasn't able to use it until like March of this year. And the reason for that was because my grandma's health really started to decline around the time I had agreed on my lease. And my mom worked full-time, my dad also worked. And so during the daytime, I was balancing this. I was working on content through the morning until the afternoon. Every afternoon, I'd go over to Mimi's house. I would take care of her, you know, get her lunch, make sure she could get to the bathroom and back to her chair, talk with her, you know, keep her mentally stimulated, see if she needed anything else. We invested in a puppy as well. Love Revan. You know, he's great. But for anyone who has a puppy, you know, that's a handful. So, you know, I didn't get to embrace kind of my big investment in myself for a really long while, and that was really tough. But I would do anything for her, and I would not change a thing with how I handled things. But I said thing a lot there. But I wouldn't change a thing. But yeah, that was one of the hardest periods of my life. Just watching someone who you care deeply about fade away. I remember in August, she had to go to a nursing home, and you know, she just came out a different person. And I remember like hysterically crying because I was talking to my girlfriend saying, I just want one more conversation with her. And I don't know what happened, but like one day we got her out of the nursing home. We just started taking care of her, and she just came to. And for months, it was back to normal. It was like I almost felt selfish. So going through that was really hard, through everything else that was going on. Because, you know, sometimes when I go through loss, and I've gone through a lot of loss in the last number of years from aunts and uncles and all that stuff, is, you know, you go out, you do your hobbies, you try to be healthy in how you distract yourself, and you didn't have that. So all I had was my work and my video games, and, you know, God bless video games. That's all I gotta say. But it was weird. You know, she called at a specific time every day, and so that was definitely one. At the same time, I think because I was working a lot, gaming a lot, and exercising a lot more, I fucked something up in my elbow good. I don't know what it is to this day. I've seen 2 orthopedists. I'm seeing a neurologist in January. I got a x-ray in my elbow. I don't know what happened, but like it is just like the tightness on the inside of my elbow. They call it golfer's elbow. And then I've been told I have tennis elbow, or I get both. And they're like, oh, it's from repetitive motions. And so also because of the workload, but also just in general, to prevent this, I hired another editor, Josh, who handles a lot of the content on the channel. And Josh does wonderful work, and I appreciate him so much. He really like melded himself to how I do my content, and I could not be more lucky to have someone like him step into my life, especially at the time he did. He was just game. He was doing all the videos, and yeah, it definitely helped improve. But my elbow's still like tight, and even now, like, you know, you can just, it's like a raw feeling. It's like I couldn't go do push-ups, and so one of my favorite things to do was exercise, and like it was hard to go and look at like old videos. Like I remember my Doom review, you could see like my arms were relatively toned, and the good news is like because I've been exercising less, I've kind of filled out a little bit more, and I was always relatively like in the 130s, and now I'm like 166. So I didn't gain all that weight in 1 year. That's been since 2018, but I think it's benefited me, but it's been really hard to not have that outlet. It's like another limitation. Like I can't do push-ups, I can't do anything, and going to professionals and they're like, yeah, I think it's tennis elbow. You know, wear a brace and you'll be good. And it's like, that's not doing anything. So it's been just frustrating, you know, like where everything else might be clicking on all cylinders, but you've got that one lingering thing. That's my elbow, my right elbow. I don't know, man. You've probably seen in videos before. You see me come in with like, with wrist braces on, with elbow sleeves on, and I don't know, they've helped at times, but it's just like, geez, man, I need answers, right? So it's that, you know, I'm hoping the neurologist can guide me in some way, shape, or form if something's pinched, or at least be like, okay, it's not this, so there's that answer. And then on top of all this, like I said, there's a lot of bad stuff before we get to the good stuff, but that's fine, because like I said, I feel like the idea is I've pushed through all of this, right? The idea is you transcend through all this, and I'm not saying like I'm some hero, you know, I'm your savior. Not at all, not even close, but more so that hopefully it inspires you. I found out I have hypothyroidism. They call it Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and pretty much what this is my immune system's attacking my my thyroid. And it sounds awful when I heard that. I was like, oh my god, like what is happening in my body? It leads to you feeling sluggish, sleepy. I don't know, I feel like tired all the time because I work so much. And so I'm trying to create in 2021 a much healthier work life cycle, way healthier. I need to, if I want to sustain what I'm doing here. But yeah, I was told that I had to start taking medicine, which right here, I got to take medicine each and every single day. And you know, they've said that because of that, you're slightly like immunocompromised, and so that made everything going on around us a little more alarming. Although I was trying to live my life to the safest extent I could, regardless. Just finding that out, it was like added tension. And so yeah, like those are kind of three major pillars on top of losing your hobbies that kind of led to this year being extremely tough for me. And so this brings me to the good stuff. And I apologize if this has been rambly for some of you out there, but I'm sure some of you just care about me and the channel. And I once again, it's why I don't like, I even like cringe a little bit when I call you like viewers or listeners, but I know this is a good general way of reference, but like, you know, I feel like friends is too, like, hey friends, like you want to give me ad rev, right? Like it's just like, it sounds like too you know, the company cares kind of approach, because we've seen that bullshit before. It's just a lot of you are like family to me. Some of my closest friends, I mean this, some of my closest friends I have met through my channel, and I game with now. Like Kopi, one of my editors, he was a patron in 2017. He joined up. We'd never spoken before. I did a holiday giveaway 1 year, and he actually won. I gave him a Switch, and then over the years we connected on the Patreon, and I don't even remember how it just came together, but he's become one of my closest friends, and you know, it's wild to think about. And so that's happened to me a lot, and so that was one of the gifts of this year, was the gift of friendship, the gift of relationships, the gift of family. You know, when you're really just like, hey, stay home, and that's it. It's you appreciate those things even more, and it's kind of brought me a new perspective on that. I feel like this was the year I really found myself as well. I used to be very not insecure. I felt like I was a confident guy, but not confident in the right way. And I know that sounds strange to say, but it was almost like a you know, I would be afraid to put my face in my videos. Like I do this all the time now, right? But I was so mentally convinced that that people just didn't want to see my face. They wanted to see the game. And so for me, it was one of those situations where I remember my girlfriend, you know, I talked to her back in PAX East, that's where it was. And I said to her, you know, the channel's not doing well, I'm trying to figure out what to do. And she's like, why don't you inject more of yourself in? And I'm like, well, people don't really care about me. She's like, have you given them reason? And I kind of paused and I was like, whoa. I mean, because it wasn't like a roast. It was like, yeah, why do I believe so strongly that these people don't want to watch me be me? Not that I wasn't me, like in my opinions and in my thoughts, I feel like I've grown a lot through the years. I feel like you can see that, right? I have so many people who've tried to fucking like sling my Fallout 4 review, or like me being immature when I was a teenager on my channel in my face, and I'm just like, that's what growth is. I think even if you dislike me passionately, you can at least look at what I once was and what I am now as a man and be like, he's grown up. He's grown up a lot more. Am I perfect? No, I was never perfect. I've definitely had some issues I've had to work through, and I've never made that a secret. And I think that genuine nature has really aided my channel, not in like a growth way, but I want to connect with you. Like, that's the thing, like meeting people at conventions and creating those friendships, man, like that shit brings my career to life. That's what it is, you know? Sometimes it's not even the video work, it's being able to have a conversation with all of you. But you know, I feel like I look at how I've approached my content, putting myself on camera, where I was really convinced people didn't want to see me, and part of it was like a fear of embarrassment. You know, when you put yourself out there and people are like, oh, I'm not gonna watch this video, and your video flops, and it's just like, oh, that's the guy who failed. That was really tough for me to overcome. And so for people to like watch a Last of Us Part 2 video from me, or my videos on Cyberpunk, or anything really, I felt a liberation as a creator. I never felt a part of anything on this platform. I always felt like I was the guy who was like, hey, it's me, what's going on? And I just want to thank you all. You know, it's one of those things where I felt like our community was something, and it was tangible. You know, you all are so nice to me, even when I'm fucking up, or you're slinging constructive criticism my way, which I appreciate. You always do word it in a way that helps me and does not hinder me. And I've been forever appreciative of that, because, you know, I've been given the opportunity to grow and become better, not just like, oh, this guy sucks. So that's the shit I really just, it's hard to put into words, and I hope I'm doing a good job, but, you know, it's given me a level of confidence, not arrogance, but just, you know, I feel good about what I'm doing. You know, there was a time many years ago you could probably have talked me off my opinion, and I don't mean that in a stubborn way, but I was like so afraid to piss people off, to incite people, and, you know, I'm like, I want to share my opinion on a game. And like, I think of Cyberpunk. A lot of people were like, you're calling the best RPG of the gen. I'm like, first of all, I didn't say it was the best RPG. I said it's one of the best compared to the likes of Fallout 4, The Outer Worlds, Vampire, Witcher. I don't mean to go off track, but like, the frustration boils not to the difference of opinion for me. I don't care if you don't like a game as much as me. I literally don't. It is no bother to me, because I'm the one playing it. If I like it, sorry, but that's great. But I do consider, when I talk about games, you know, how much you value my opinion, and how much I should praise in game. But, you know, I think of something like Cyberpunk, where when I played it in my little closed window and afterwards, I was like, this game's amazing. And I think if this was like Matty from 4 or 5 years ago, the way some people took a run at me and had shit to say about me in the comments at times, like, once again, I don't care if people got shit to say about me, but it's more so the talking as if you're not in the room, right? Like, someone across the room is saying shit about you, and you're like, I'm right here. Like, you can talk like you know I'm gonna see this. I think a lot of people don't understand that. We read our comments. But I think there was a time you probably could have talked me off my opinion, and I would have been scared to defend myself. But I feel I've developed in a way where like I can actually, when I make my content, it's more thoughtful, and not defensive like thoughtful, but, you know, this is my opinion. I'm laying it here. Here are the reasons why I think this. And I pass it off to you. What do you think? Do you disagree? Okay. Why? Do you agree? Why? You know, I love the conversations we have on our channel. And so some people will like look at, let's say my Cyberpunk review, and then they'll look at my Illusion of Choice video, which I spent a fuck ton of time on. I've been working on that since the game got to me at the beginning of the month, and I released it like 22 days later. So 3 weeks it took me to make that. And so I remember people were like, oh, you're walking back on your review? And I'm like, I said in my review that like the choices were bad, and I thought the skill checks were bad, and it's not like I didn't expect it to be, but it's not like Wasteland 3. And there has to be an evolution in that conversation as you all join the fray, right? It's not just about me and my experience, it's about yours, and it's about now, okay, we've had, I think I released it on the 22nd or 23rd, so it was about almost 2 weeks after the game came out. People had probably seen enough. to maybe join in on that conversation if they've been playing it, and share their thoughts on the choice. You know, I'm such a big believer in that. Like, the conversation doesn't stop at me talking about the merits of the game on launch. Games develop and evolve over time, and just like Cyberpunk's a perfect example. You know, that conversation changes so much, right? Like, PC experience and my experience was good. It was very good. I really liked it. Even though I noted a ton of bugs, I still managed to really like it. A game I think of as well as Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I like on my series, my one asset was that game ran like trash, and I had to like keep rebooting the game to keep it running. But like underneath it all was like a really good game, and I reviewed it positively because I knew my experience wasn't going to be indicative of everyone else's. So yeah, it's just one of those things where I felt stronger and when I speak, and that is it may not sound like a big deal. It may sound like something I should have already had stepping in here, but for me, it's never too late, and I am very happy I have developed that quality. And that's because a lot of you have given me constructive feedback on speaking and critiquing and just how I do my work. And you know, my goal is to pay you back for all of you've done to make me better at what I do. And by that I mean, you know, you can just sit back, watch a video, and focus on the topic at hand, even if you disagree or you don't like the video, just to be able to, you know, talk about what I've made. That's more important to me. So yeah, I feel like I'm just checking my notes here because I wanted to make sure I had like a direction of some kind. Yeah, I feel like I've found myself more creatively free. I'm stronger in my relationships. I've grown as a person, and I mean, man, we've grown as a channel. I wanted to pass 400K subs this year as just like a kind of pot shot goal I threw out there before 2019 ended. Just like, hey, I want people to like see my channel more. And wow, we grew like 50,000. I've never seen that before since like Fallout 4. So, you know, must be doing something right, I guess. But that'll about do it. I think I've rambled long enough now. So for those of you watching on Christmas Day and you're celebrating, I hope you found this video something that you could resonate with, and I hope I've gotten my point across properly to some extent on how much I appreciate your feedback, your love, and your care and your support, and that I've gone through my own share of shit this year, as I'm sure you have, and we've all come out the other side stronger, and we should be proud of that. So give yourself a pat on the back. Enjoy your day if you're celebrating. If you're not, it's just another day for you. I hope you still enjoy your day, or if you see this after Christmas or whatever. It's not just a Christmas video, but just something kept weighing on my heart to sit down and talk with all of you. Because I used to do this a lot, but like I said, it started to get like weaponized, and I was like, fuck you guys. I'm just kidding. But yeah, point being is, it's been a rough year. So as a lot of people are saying, hopefully 2021 brings us a better time. I trust it will. I feel it will. And we can hopefully get back to normal. But for now, thank you for listening to me talk about games. Please do keep an eye on the content I have on the channel. I usually rarely ask that, but I'm telling you, I'm so hyped about people's thoughts on some of the things I'm making. I've worked really hard on a lot of this shit, so I just can't wait to see people's thoughts. So continue to share, continue to talk, continue to love, and with that, talk to all of you soon, all right? Back to our daily schedule, as per usual. Every single day at 5 p.m. Eastern time, you will have my videos up in your sub feed. So I will catch all of you soon. Thank you once again. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.